lawful abiding citizen Robert Cameron, back from Sydney Town. George Tradzik, good evening to you, George. Robert Cameron and also Ray Duncan. Thanks for joining us, gentlemen, at ringside. Welcome to Australia too, part of the great international team of Riddick Bowe and Sugar Ray Leonard. Seconds out, round 7 coming up.
Out for the 7th, and he comes out just with that jab in his face.
Didn't land it though, but he had it there. That's the main thing, isn't it? But,
this is the first round I've seen Jeka not throw something
virtually straight away.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I noticed some momentarily in the last round, some indications he might be just slightly tiring, but anyone would be when you're been in a tough fight like this for 6 rounds against a very tough Filipino fellow like Castillo.
He's had a very high work rate right through the fight.
Well, he has. He's probably worked harder
that was
than
a
the
beautiful
Filipino.
1-2. Nice, solid left hand to the
very good
upper
punch.
head
That was
reach.
a big right to the forehead of Castillo, who his trainer has also lavished the Vaseline on again at the end of the last round, across the eyebrows. Oh, left to the
beautiful
stomach region. Caught him there. Oh, missed with the right hand coming through. And that's poking out that jab, as you say.
And now he's back to his normal work rate. He just most probably needed a moment. And there's another beautiful jab straight in between that gap. And he's going right in between it. If you notice, the Filipino's got a very tight guard. But
he finds the gap.
Yeah, Lim's punching right through his hands. He's actually pushing his hands to the side.
And that takes a lot of physical strength to be able to do that when you're up against a strong fellow like Castillo, because not only have to get the punch to land, you've got to force your way through his gloves to get there.
He must carry a bag of cement around for half an hour a day. He's got big shoulders, Lim.
Oh, to do that.
Yeah.
It's either that or he's certainly lifting some very heavy weights in the gym and doing his bag work.
He's doing a hell of a lot of work, and he's doing it in there tonight where it counts.
Putting the points on the board and hopefully the dollars in the pocket.
Yeah, hopefully. Oh, the Filipino's looking at his glove. Wonder what he was doing that about. Thought Lim would have picked him off when he wasn't looking. Oh, a little bit of soccer going on here.
He dived low, then he tried to get out of that backward movement onto the ropes.
That was a
Lim's
beautiful
catching him
right
again
hook there.
with some combinations. And as Jeka measures again, he seems to be concentrating a bit better now after that momentary lapse. He's now forging away and bouncing punches off the forehead and the head of Castillo.
The Filipino better get his act together. If he's not planning on knocking Jenk out, I don't think he's anywhere near his point. So he better just get his work rate up. Just do something. Jenk, Lim, not Jenk, sorry.
Look, you'd have to say there's just about virtually nothing he could do, the Filipino, to overcome what probably is a huge points deficit at this point. It'd have to be a knockout.
It would have to be a knockout. Lim is just constantly working away.
He certainly is.
End of round 7. Also, we'll be talking to Stan the Man Longinidis in centering, Longinidis, and also 5 times world champion Tosca Pedrides, individually, not collectively. Okay, coming up for the 8th and final round, and we thank our great supporters this evening: Paul Marino Mobile, Nick Vandermeer Everlast, John Novotny Breaks Plus, Greg Miner Black and Blue, Alf and Gennaro Cafe Trevi, and we had a great morning there, as I mentioned. Carl from Cosito Clothing, Orlando Labosco, The Black Prince of Vito Toronto, Q-Tech Billiards. Seconds out, 8th and final round.
Final round. I'm wondering what the Filipinos, is he going to go for a foolish knockout and try and knock Lim out because he knows he's miles behind, or would Lim just pick him off like a duck, pluck a duck? Oh.
It'll be interesting to see the tactics. I think Lim Jeka will keep peppering away and just keep building up the points.
I believe so too.
And just try and sit back if the Filipino tries to start to throw some big bombs. But I don't think we're going to see that because our Filipino friend here has had some difficulty throughout the night. He's been sat on his pants once and he's slipped over as well, and he's had some difficulty handling some of Jeka's big punches.
Is that a bit of a cut on his right eye, the Filipino as well? Yeah.
Yes, that is. And
it would be
ringside doctor, Dr. Peter Lewis, has just informed me that there is a cut that has formed there on Castillo's right eye. Smiles while he moves away.
And he's just constantly putting them up and then putting them in low. That's a beautiful rip and a hook comes follows by. He's constantly got something going.
I tell you what, we saw Cabato and Ellis about 2 years ago put in a magnificent effort where both fighters got badly cut and they keep going, and this Filipino was no exception to the rule.
No, they're very tough opponents, the Filipinos.
Very hardy fighter. As, he still stands. His right foot is still out. And an act of
they'll
defiance.
fight to the death, the Filipinos, if they have to. They're in there and they're no put downs. No.
And they're all peppered away there. Two nice punches to the face of the Filipino. Bounced them off his nose with the right hand.
And he's just constantly put them in there.
And a constant peppering motion of Jeka holds sway.
Constantly having him on the back pedal, isn't he? Lim, he's just constantly going at him.
He doesn't want to move back the Filipino, does he? He's got that front right leg out. He leans back more than going back with the feet until he has to.
He doesn't want to do it. Sometimes he's just forced into doing it, but...
Yes.
And just
wild swing
hook, yeah.
From the Filipino, hoping for some sort of miracle punch there, but wasn't to come off. Jeka saw it coming.
The Filipino better start doing something. Better start looking for that miracle punch.
I mean, it very rarely comes in top quality boxing, and I can't see it happening here.
That was more around the back of Lim.
Oh, that was more of a slap then. Tried to catch him in on the way through the Filipino. We've got a poke then with the right hand and then a jab. With an over-the-top left to
Lim's right hand. It's like a sledgehammer the way it just sits there.
It certainly is, and I like his over-the-top left as well. I think that's a very good.
That's excellent.
Come on, give both a big round of applause there. Dioniso, Castillo, and Lim Jeka. We got the score sheets.
I think Lim's got that
was
quite
an
easily.
absolutely excellent fight there.
That was a very tough fight. It's not that often we get to see him. It's either one person's running and the other person's punching, or vice versa. But that one, they were both having a go. But I believe Lim's work rate was just so much better than the other fellas.
Well, he's now unbeaten in 9 fights, Lim Jeka. He's a lightweight. Can you see him going on from here?
Lim, he's got a big career in front of him. He'll be going on for a while.
He looks like he's got all the abilities there and the ramifications of perhaps a potential Australian title.
Yes,
he just had an excellent win in Sydney.
October 5 at the
interesting to see, I suppose, if I know there's a weight differential, but a Mick O'Malley Lim Jeka contest down the line if O'Malley went up a division. Yeah.
Good to see Nigel Sartle. Good evening, Nige.
It'll be very interesting, but we don't want to. I don't often like to see Australians fighting Australians. I'd rather see them fighting imported fighters. So we go back to ringside. Howard Lee is about to present the judgment.
That was an excellent fight, this one.
Also welcome the new chairman of Wall Promotions, Benny Rocky Horror. Good evening to you, Ben. Wall Promotions, watch out for that new company. Thank you, Mr. Bart McCarthy. Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of boxing, international junior middleweights, the winner by unanimous points.